bars. You
are now tuned in to the official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is the Balancing Act Radio Show with AJ Throwback and Ramsey Brown. Only on WinDCRadio.com, the WinDC Radio app, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live on the WinDC Radio pages. And of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, and everybody in between. Welcome to another great edition, Balancing Act Radio Show, right here with AJ Throwback,
Ramsey Brown.
Yes. Appreciate everybody tuning in right now. We are live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. So as advertised, today we are celebrating the life. I didn't think that we would be coming into this show today doing this. Absolutely. I don't think anybody came into this week thinking this would be the case, but we are coming to celebrate the life and the legacy of the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant, who, as everybody knows by now, tragically killed along with his daughter Gigi and 7 other people who we'll definitely make sure we shine a light on as well. On Sunday morning in Calabasas, California. But I want people to know that I don't want this necessarily to be a sad show. You know, like this is definitely going to be a celebration of his legacy, his life, and the things that he did in his life. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be going over like memories that you all have. I put something out there on my Facebook page, Joseph Lawrence Goins, if you follow me. And also we have a question on our IG page that's at Bars on Air. So if you have not checked it out just yet, please do so. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? We coming here to be happy today, man. It's been a really rough weekend for me for multiple reasons. I'll get into that later. But for right now, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna celebrate Kobe, man. You know what I'm saying? Do it up for Bean. The Mamba, Black Mamba. Yes, sir. So we'll be talking about that throughout the show. Also, today, of course, is the 5 Alarm Blaze Countdown. So if you have not voted in it yet, you have until noon today. So you got 55 minutes to get your votes in. Artists, you got 55 minutes to get your last rally in, to get those last minute votes. So the links are on our in the bio of our Instagram page. It's on our Twitter page. We shared links, and also on our Facebook page. That's all across the board at Bars on Air. So make sure you vote in that. And also, we're gonna do the playlist a little differently today. Because we have a lot of artists who are up for whammies. Yes, you know what I'm saying, the whammies. We definitely want to showcase a lot of the artists who are involved in that. We're going to be highlighting a lot of the artists who are nominated for that award. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and kick it off. I think I'm going to flip some things around a little bit. Had some stuff lined up, but you know what I'm saying, y'all will understand the strategy a little bit later. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with my Fresh Tribe brother, Artemis, one of his 2 songs that are actually nominated for a whammy, and that's Petty, right here on the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
can talk in my office. Your gossip master notice on how to speak like a man, damn, you're a novice. Come on, quote, it's been noted that you're toxic. Right. Waste time of mine. When you cross right there, you can find the line. Double cross me. And the answer is no. You drop the ball with the tantrum you throw. Come on, man. I'ma let you vent, there inside, catch the scent. Agenda, stress, intent, I'm less convinced that you wanna fight with the best intent. No way. No plan when your tear drop. Nope. Talk to me, then your fear stop. Yeah. On display when you put it on. It's real life and you know you're wrong. You ain't gotta be that petty. Don't be petty. I'm saying, just be ready. Don't be petty. Don't be petty. Socialite, the good bad guy she been known to like. That good guy she complain about. Used to lay with him, then drain him out. But now you ain't even trying to stay in the couch. Good for you. Changed ways, take the route. When the men act shameful, they're boys. I don't even blame you, but I see you get judgy. Won't say you're ugly, but maybe sometimes you get it kinda wrong in a sense. Nitpick and then you wanna play innocent. Shot subliminal, then stay intricate. It's okay, you can say hypocrite. Hope you find what you're searching for. I can tell that you're hurting more. You ain't gotta be that petty. Don't be petty. I'm saying, just be ready. Don't be petty. Don't be petty. Them old school rules don't apply to you. But you were preaching like, hey man, the old school rules. But you lied to who? Your head's blown. Chill out. Self-deflate. Deal with the enemies you helped create. Your fault. We can see you're the same. You're out of people to blame. Look at you. Okay, leave the game. So precise, then load the dice. Wait, hold up. Yo, keep the change. A penny for your thought is overpriced. I'm chillin'. I mean, it's not that serious. Take shots, keep appearances. I know you sneeze. Go ahead and stall away. I'm a phone call away. And I just really mean it, you know. You could see it as a learning curve thing, man. You know, sometimes our elders need to learn the same kind of lessons that the youngsters need to learn, you feel me? This is petty. You ain't gotta be that petty. Don't be petty. I'm saying, just be ready. Don't be petty. You gotta think about it. That means you're not ready to not be petty. Huh.
Salute kings and queens. This your man Villadom, aka Mr. Briefcase, and y'all now rocking with my man AJ Throwback on bars. The official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond. Only on One DC Radio. Power.
Good morning, it's not nice to see you again. You can still see my hard eyes. How long has it been? It's just something about you that pulls me back in. And then you mess with my heart all over again. I don't mean to put the blame on you, but it's so routine how you always do what you do to me. Think by now I would've learned something, like how to walk away, but it's crystal clear that I don't know nothing. So what can I say? Do your worst, do your worst, do your worst. Feeling somber from my current predicament.
urban contemporary indie artist? Then this is your platform. Send us clean versions of your music to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
How we getting to it, man? You know, say, Cabo. You know, say, why they hating? Why they hating? Why? You know, say, why they ain't go out and get it, man? You know, say, they gon' ask me how I did it, told them. You know, say, you know I told them, ay. Me no comprende, I made 100 on Wednesday. 100 on Wednesday. Me no comprende, I don't hit nothing but payday. I don't hit nothing. Me no comprende, I spend it all on a Friday. Dame on best, so you know I did it my way. Rolling the fronto, this loud, we smoke on the El Cilantro. But they get up in the condo, two cuties with me and I'm making their eyes roll. You gotta make carne asada, if you want me to buy you designer. If not, I won't call you mañana. Coño, I get a lot. I'm not a player, I crush a lot. Ya tu sabe, ain't anybody, and she calling me Jefe. I got her from Pepe, you never could be about it. Never. When I'm in the party, I'ma give me a Barbie and Cardi, or Shakira, or J-Lo. Back shots in those spejos. You know, say, why they hating? Why they hating? Why? You know, say, why they ain't go out and get it, man? You know, say, they gon' ask me how I did it, told them. You know, say, you know I told them. Me no comprende, I made 100 on Wednesday. 100 on Wednesday. Me no comprende, I don't hit nothing but payday. I don't hit nothing. Me no comprende, I spend it all on a Friday. Dame on best, so you know I did it my way. I did it my way. I don't need none of you haters in my way. Mami, ya tú sabes. Si ves la policía, no conoce a nadie. El diablo me llamo, pero no contesta. Cause I know God got me. And you know we going up. I don't see no one behind me. Only the world beside me. In fact, I love when you calling me Poppy. Yeah, I be chilling with all of these girls, but just know you the one that got me. Cause you the one that go. If do I say I'm getting money around my way. You know the sky be my highway. You know we got it the hallway. You know, say, I don't care what they say, I'ma do it my way. You ain't help me get to it. You know, say, put your hand out. You ain't been around one day. You ain't been around. You know, say, why they hating? Why they hating? Why? You know, say, why they ain't go out and get it, man? You know, say, they gon' ask me how I did it, told them. You know, say, you know I told them. Me no comprende, I made 100 on Wednesday. 100 on Wednesday. Me no comprende, I don't hit nothing but payday. I don't hit nothing. Me no comprende, I spend it all on a Friday. Dame on best, so you know I did it my way. You know, say, they gon' ask me how I did it, told them. You know, say, you know I told them.
Wanna get down with the Bars Revolution? We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bars On Air.
legend in my city cause the brand stamp. I done came a long way since band camp. I'm lighting up the coast like a damn lamp. Perform, blow your speakers and your damn amps. Kill a cow, Brianna Mary. On the road to the Grammys, we both preparing. Got the kind of paper that leave you staring. Leave it for the kids so they can inherit. Ain't about the money, looking guap bob. If you think you're going hard, you go hard. Another day, another dollar. Yeah, we put in work, but we work smart. Up in DC, man, they getting to it. Getting to it. Getting to it. Out in LA, man, they getting to it. Getting to it. Getting to it. ATL, they be getting to it. Getting to it. Getting to it. Houston. Oh.
Welcome back to the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback and Ramsey Brown. Only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. That whole stretch, nothing but whammy nominees. That was Killer Cow featuring Brianna Marin with Another Dollar. Before that, we had Shemaine with Do Your Worst. M. Bird with Yo No Say. Shout out to Christian, who we highlighted. Bars on the Road on our YouTube channel, if you haven't checked it out already. And starting off the set, we had, actually that was flipped. So M. Burb was before Killer Cow. Shemaine was before M. Burb. And starting off the set, we had Artemis with Petty. Shout out once again to my Fresh Tribe brother, Artemis. And shout out to everybody who was watching via Facebook Live and also on YouTube Live. Shout out to Christine, Haynes family. Definitely looking forward to them coming. We gonna keep saying it. May 13th, mark your calendars. That's gonna be a show right there. You know what I'm saying? Got the top fan badge, so appreciate you for being the top fan, Christine. Also, Miss Razzle Dazzle, Daddy Razzle Dazzle, checking in, South Carolina, as they always do at this time. Appreciate y'all as well. Christine also, she said, I swear I discovered the best jams on this show. Indie artists are everything, period.
Yes.
Not period. With a T at the end. So yeah, we try to provide y'all with the best, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't, we do our best. I mean, not everything's a winner. You know what I'm saying? But when we hit, we hit. Yes, indeed. I see Ricky Payne on YouTube Live. Appreciate Fam Highs checking in. Appreciate y'all. It's looking good. It's looking good for the Fam Highs brothers. You know what I'm saying, on that countdown. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Yes, indeed. And 11. That's Van Meter. Oh, I think that's my man DJ Van Ski. So yeah, shout out to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for tuning in as well. Yeah, we getting some YouTube live love today. Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. So yeah, as discussed, Kobe Bryant. We lost a legend over the weekend. And like I said, I really don't want this to be a sad show. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I kind of want to, because I think a lot of times when people have these discussions or have had these discussions about Kobe Bryant and everybody who was on the helicopter, everybody leads with Kobe Bryant. But, I kind of want to do this a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to remember the other victims who were part of that, a part of the crash. Right. So, it's hard because when it comes to situations like these, there's always families who are left behind, who are always left to grieve and pick up the pieces in the situation. And unfortunately, there were a lot of families who had to pick up the pieces in this tragedy, because that's really what it is. And so the Altobelli family, you had the father John, who he was actually one of the most successful junior baseball coaches in the country. He was coach of Orange Coast College in Costa Mesa, California. Had over 700 wins in over a 27 season stretch, which is very impressive. Very impressive. That's not easy to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So he was able to do that. Also, he managed a college summer league team in which the likes of Aaron Judge from the Yankees and Jeff McNeil from the Mets, they participated in that program, which was in Cape Cod. So I mean, this is somebody who, he was doing big things, huge things. You know what I'm saying? And of course, his connection to Kobe is through his daughter, Alyssa, who played basketball on the Mambas with Gigi. And speaking of Alyssa, she was actually an aspiring point guard. And Kobe actually, in an Instagram post, praised her for her defense. Like it was a scene on Instagram where, Gigi was doing her thing. I mean, she really reminded you of Kobe with the move, because like Alyssa was guarding her. Right. But Gigi hit her with the fadeaway, looking like her daddy. And I mean, good offense always beats good defense, or better offense always beats good defense. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's why I said better offense. It's hard to defend the perfect shot. Much like we'll kind of talk about one of the moments that people mention. I'll mention later that kind of has to do with that. But anyway, so that's you had John, you had Alyssa, the daughter, you had Carrie, the mother, super supportive of her husband the entire time that he was coaching at Orange Coast College. She went to all of the home games, most of the away games, just, supporting the family, you know what I'm saying? And it's sad because they leave behind two children, a son, JJ, and a daughter, Lexi. So, these are two children who are left without a mother, a father, and a sister, so it's tough. It's tough. So that's the Altobelli family. Then you have the Chester family. You have Sarah Chester. She was accompanying her daughter Peyton to the game, and her brother Andy George described Sarah as the heart of that family and the one that everybody counted on. And then Peyton, she played for the Mambas with Gigi and Alyssa, and said, she came from a genuine, kind-hearted, and caring family who made an impact at her elementary school, and who her uncle Andy described as, quote, the kindest, most gentlest person you would ever meet. And so the Chester family, they leave behind a husband and a father, Chris, and then two 16-year-old sons, Hayden and Riley. So more families who are just trying to pick up the pieces from the situation. Then you have Christina Mauser, aka the mother of defense. That's what they dubbed her. She was an assistant coach for the Mambas, and she was a former coach who led the Harbor Day School's 8th grade girls basketball team to their first title, and who Kobe specifically sought out for her expertise in developing zone defenses. So this was somebody who was like well respected, especially like because of the level that these girls were. I mean, you're talking like middle school, early high school girls, you know what I'm saying? She leaves behind a husband, Matt, and their 3 kids. Then you have the pilot, Ara Zabayan, pilot of the helicopter, also a flight instructor who first, actually interesting, he first took interest in flying in 1998 after a sightseeing flight at the Grand Canyon. And he had been flying, I want to say, actually over 20 years. And he was very much loved in the aviation community. In fact, a student of his, Darren Kemp, told the LA Times, he, as in Kobe, doesn't let anyone fly him around but Ara, so he was trusted in that situation. And then of course we get to the Bryants. We get to Gigi Bryant, one of Kobe's 4 daughters.
Right.
Kobe, all girls. I'm like, man, how you do that? All girls, bro. Like, man, that's serious. But you know what I'm saying? That was the one. She was the one that was the most like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just her disposition. Of course, her playing ball. You know, it was. I think, and this is something I want to say. Maybe me and my wife were discussing. Was that, or maybe I heard it on the radio. Maybe when I was watching Let's Be Clear last night. I forget where I hear it, so I don't want to give the wrong people the wrong credit. You know what I mean? But you know, like I heard it somewhere. So whoever said it, I'm giving you your credit. You know, but yeah, Gigi was I want to say she was the second child. She was the second child born because it was Natalia first. Natalia, who is now 17. In fact, her birthday was this month.
Wow.
Yeah, birthday is this month. So you got a 17-year-old Gianna, the 13-year-old Bianca. Actually Bianca is pretty young. She was born. She's only 3, and then they just had their most recent daughter, Capri Kobe, born in June of last year. So Gigi being like the second born, like I said, she was the most like him. In fact, she was the one that really rekindled his love for basketball because he wasn't going to NBA games whatsoever. But you know, with her not only loving basketball but her being involved in basketball, it really rekindled his love for it. And you know, of course, he mentored her and, you know, coached her up with the Mama's Girls basketball team. And, you know, in the wake of the tragedy, her dream school, University of Connecticut, UConn, they honored her with her own Huskies jersey posthumously. Yeah. So that's Gigi, 13. And that's the thing. All of the girls that were on this flight, 13, you know, they didn't even really get to live life, you know. But then there's Kobe. Family man first. You know, we could easily talk about his NBA accolades, but family man first. You know,
the person.
Exactly.
That's
the man.
A lot of people forget about.
Right.
They're real people.
Right. Exactly. That's the most important aspect. These are real people with real families with things outside of what they're known for. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of what they're known for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, husband to Vanessa Bryant. Like I said, his 4 daughters, Natalia, Gigi, Bianca, and Capri Kobe. And I mean, just an exceptional father. Like, he was really an example of, like, fatherhood. Like, he loved his family. He loved his daughters. You know, I mean, of course, you know, him and his wife, they went through what they went through, but, like, they stayed together.
Oh, absolutely.
They toughed it out. And, I mean, they really are an example of, like, when you get married, you're going to go through some stuff.
Absolutely.
You're gonna go through some stuff, and it's a matter of like, what's your resolve,
right?
You know. But like his family was very important to him. Then you get into his accolades as a ball player. I mean, easily regarded as one of the greatest of all time. I mean, let's run it down. y'all gonna be here for like a couple minutes, so just bear with us. 5-time NBA champion. Ranks 4th in scoring with 33,643 points. Of course, LeBron just passed him Saturday. First player to have at least 30,000 career points, 6,000 career assists, and was one of only 4 players with 25,000 points, 6,000 rebounds, and 6,000 assists. 2-time scoring champion, 06-07. Second highest single game scoring performance of all time against Toronto in 06, of course, the 81-point game, only bested by Wilt Chamberlain with 100. Scored at least 50 points 24 times, third behind Jordan with 31 and Chamberlain with 118. Like, good grief. Yo, what defense were people playing back in Wilt Chamberlain's time? None at all. Man, oh my goodness. 6 times scored at least 60 points. Third player to average 40 points in a calendar month, and he did that 4 times. League MVP in 08, 2 times Finals MVP, 09-2010, 18-time All-Star, second behind Kareem with 19. 17 times he did that consecutively, which is an NBA record. Each time as a starter. 4-time All-Star MVP, 02, 07, 09, and 2011. 4-time leading vote getter for the All-Stars. 15-time All-NBA team member, tied with Kareem and Tim Duncan, with 11 first-team honors, tied for second with Karl Malone. 12-time All-Defensive Team, second to Duncan's 15, and 9-time First Team's honors, tied with Jordan, Garnett, Gary Payton. First guard to play 20 NBA seasons. Youngest winner of the NBA Slam Dunk Contest when he won in 1997. Scored 40-plus points in 121 games and recorded 21 triple-doubles, and will be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in this year as a first ballot inductee, which I believe he will be inducted at the same time with Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett. This man, his NBA career speaks for itself. You have a lot of people who feel like Kobe's their GOAT.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's when you go down that resume, it's hard to argue that.
It is, absolutely.
It's really hard to argue that. You know what I'm saying? But beyond basketball, the man, he was a philanthropist. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He was just a man of the world. You know what I'm saying? He took some hits for certain things that, he may have stood out for or stood up for or took a stand for. But at the end of the day, he was, as much as he tried to be, he was a man of character. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, for myself, like I wasn't, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that because I want to read a reaction that says exactly, well, outside of this person being a Celtics fan. I ain't never been a C's fan, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, but at the same time, the sentiment said exactly how I feel. So before I read that, what's your reaction, bro?
I mean, like I said, I'm the type of guy that it's more about the person. Of course, I love the fact of standout in sports, even though I'm not, it's not my lane per se. Mm-hmm. But I do respect his philanthropic endeavors. Yeah, and that's what to me was, like I said, everybody who plays sports, I like for people to do have other things than to be involved in, as people notice when the show when artists come through. Mm-hmm. So it's bigger than the music, it's bigger than the game. They're real live people.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean, it's a somber moment, but this is a celebration, man. Don't talk about the bad. Let's talk about the good. Let's keep them high and have the memory of them on high.
Exactly. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Death is one of those things that's hard for me, to talk about. I can't even front. So I think that's why I'm not, like, I believe in the mourning process. I believe in the grieving process, but I also believe more than anything in celebrating people's lives.
Absolutely.
Not
absolutely.
Try not to be sad about it. You're going to be sad.
Of course.
This hit different.
Right.
This hit, right. I mean, and we've lived through a lot of tragedy in our lives. A lot of tragedy. A lot. You know what I mean? And I gotta say, this hit me harder than any other tragedy involving like a celebrity of his stature.
I'm just going.
I'm gonna explain why later. For me, he's right behind. Like if I had a 5 in terms of the ones that affected me the most, Michael Jackson is definitely in that 5. He's definitely in that 5. But I'm going to explain why a little later in terms of why I say that personally, because this is a little bit more personal for me. Right. But like I said, I'll explain a little bit later as we continue our discussion. But before we get back to some music, I wanted to read this particular reaction, and this is actually from Prowess of Testament. Huge basketball fan. Huge basketball fan. Yes, huge shout out to Prowess. She says, listen, And the reason why I wanted to highlight this because I feel like a lot of the sentiments in what she's saying is exactly how I viewed Kobe. She said, "Listen, I was an Eddie Jones fangirl." That part right there, I was like, "See, this is why I fool with you."
Yes.
Yeah.
Eddie Jones.
Yeah, man.
I was too.
Yeah, that was my dude right there. That's when I was still a Lakers fan. You know what I'm saying? So she says, "Listen, I was an Eddie Jones fangirl. I cried when he got traded. I was a Lake Show stan, and when LA traded EJ, an all-star from Temple with arguably a slightly better physique and fray and with a physical prowess and IQ to play both small forward and shooting guard, to Charlotte for a bale of hay. Yes, because Glenn Rice, don't get me started, and J.R. Reed, heaven help us. I lost my ish. It was the day I officially started my quest as a C's fan. It was screw the whole franchise, down to the Sox, and with my family in Inglewood, who were already mad about the move of the Lakers to the new Staples Center in downtown L.A., it was going down. But All-Star Game 02 in Philly, right after he gave the 76ers the L, don't even get me started on that either, and getting booed in his own hometown, that was the day I had to step back and recognize game. That man was an anomaly of will, determination, and sheer clutch in every sense of the word. I mean, he made folks cheer for the quote-unquote villain, and more so the quote-unquote anti-hero. Each time he dropped one of those 31 buckets, it was a pause in the stands when the arena started chanting MVP, MVP. It was glorious. I had a love, admirable hate relationship with Kobe for years, but that moment I respected him. I grew to love his competitive precision, studying tape until he could execute from every position and angle on the floor. That, for me, sealed the deal. Being a C's fan, you know the 2010 finals was it for me. I was so proud to be whipped out of recognition by the Lakers. He and Pau Gasol tore us a new one. I remember seeing KG's soul leave his body and shrug, realizing Kobe was unstoppable with a broken damn pinky finger and ligaments all jammed up. Sorry, story over. I got carried away. Haha. So that perfectly encapsulates, minus, like I said, minus the Celtics part.
Right.
You know, that perfectly encapsulated like how I view Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even necessarily that I like quote unquote hated Kobe Bryant.
No.
I just hated the fact that they gave away Eddie Jones to get him. You know what I'm saying? Because I was an Eddie Jones dude. That was my dude. Like, I mean, him, Nick Van Exel,
Right.
man. Those like I was so rooting for them Lakers, man. But you know, Kobe, he comes in and he ends up becoming the face of the franchise, and that's saying a lot because
well respected. That's me. I wasn't, you know, but definitely he captured respect.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's hard to do and I mean, you think about it, somebody, I think Roland Martin said it. You talking about an organization that has Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain played for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like legends, stone cold legends. And Kobe comes in and he becomes synonymous with the Lakers and the legacy and champions, you know. Whole career. Spent his whole, and I want y'all to understand something about that. Because this man, let me pull this up. Y'all do realize this man actually got drafted technically by the Charlotte Hornets. He wasn't even supposed to go to the Lakers. He was supposed to go to the Hornets. Now, granted, what would the Hornets franchise would have been if he was on their team? Woo, woo. I'm sure they would love some championships.
Absolutely, they need it.
But he was meant for LA. That personality, that much star power, somebody of his stature, what he ended up being, and frankly, for people that knew him before he got to the NBA, people that watched him play in Philly, you know, playing with Lower Marion, you know what I'm saying, all them Chester High people that's watching, I know y'all know, because that's the only school that he respected out of all the schools that he played in Pennsylvania. Chester High School was the only school he respected because they gave him the most competition, as they always do. Chester High School has produced some immense talent, basketball-wise. So if Kobe's giving you props, you know you official. You know your program is official, and they've been official. That's just it. They've been official. But, you know, Kobe done gave some people the business, but he done made some believers out of folks.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's just one of a kind. You're not going to see another like him again. You know what I'm saying? One of a kind. But we're going to continue the Kobe conversation a little bit later. I want to see if we may have any comments from our folks. People, yeah, people been chilling. But what we going to do, I don't see any live comments right now. But what we are going to do is, like I said, we're going to read some comments a little later in the show. And if we have time in the next segment, we'll do it then as well. But right now, since we mentioned Prowess, we gotta play some Prowess, who is also up for a whammy. So we're gonna go ahead and let's see. Let me check something first before I do that. I don't wanna be premature with things. Hold on 1 second. I'm just navigating through some things, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and play from her Sky God album, Wings of Icarus, my favorite song on Wings of Icarus. On Sky God. Right here on the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
Masterpieces like pictures of black Jesus. My features on par with Mona Lisa's. Praise Venus, my mirror clearer. Scatter pizzas for the heathens. They begging, please feed us. I need a reason. Earth, wind, fire, allegiance. Even elitists get defeated. Sucker stripe off for Adidas. They file a grievance. Cause she's just the best of the best architecture. Might check the scepter, sucker to a specter. Drink the nectar, white gold collector. Slurp the seedlings, see pleading, no catching feelings. Check the breathing, it's that time of the evening. Splashing the deep and bask in the decent. 120 proof, water wise. I got supplies for your demise. It's high tide, sky God, no sunrise. Flying high in the friendly skies. You just might offend me, guys. It's like Jonah in the whale, the Capitan, with packs louder than Pakistan. My anchor's potent, I could pull 6 caravans in the catamaran. In the Central Valley up in Kazakhstan, Puritans in the Yucatan Peninsula. Deep enough to drown Cuban adventurers. Check the temperature versus ice cold. Even could seem miniature, so sinister.
Let's fly, let's fly. Oh my, oh my. Let's fly, let's fly. Oh my, oh my. On the wings of Icarus, they never knew a difference. On the wings of Icarus, they never seen a difference. Let's fly, let's fly. Oh my, oh my. Let's fly, let's fly. Oh my, oh my. On the wings of Icarus, they never seen a difference. On the wings of Icarus, they never knew a difference. Let's fly, let's fly. Oh my, oh my. Let's fly, let's fly. Oh my, oh my. Let's fly, let's fly. Oh my, oh my.
You hear this spot right here? This could be your spot where you pull your new customer. trusted or established business or entrepreneur and you believe you have the right product for our audience, then advertise with Bars. For more details on our rates, packages, and deals for first-time clients, email balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Bricks. Bricks make buildings. Yeah. The orders got real. Used to pack out the Honda, hit the car dealership, opted out for something larger. We buying out product off the west coast of Ghana, negotiating deals on the west side with honor. If the numbers wasn't real, cell phone hit the pocket like my battery was low, and I couldn't find my charger. 100% African Americana, no lies. We did it for the people and the dollars. Learned from my father, owned houses on the regular. Kept a straight business, never over creditors. Dabbled in the stock, earplug to the cellular. Business had insurance, never lost in all the failures. Hell, I even made dollars as a rookie. Middle school, I was pushing older Spunk Meyer cookies. I worked at the bottom, first job as a janitor. Now I'm double shipping as an owner and a manager.
Bricks make buildings, buildings make cities. Live much more, explore with the ability. Freedom is acquired with the dollars and cents. A trait you commit, building with bricks. Bricks make buildings, buildings make cities. Live much more, explore with the ability. Freedom is acquired with the dollars and cents. A trait to commit, building with bricks. Bricks make buildings, buildings make cities. Live much more, live much more. The power in one, produce this type of faction. A situator, my state to relate. Liberate through economics is our concept. No more taking handouts and placing lottery bets. But invest in IRA and small businesses, sustainable claims, world markets and land gains. Stem through education, progressive children. Provide more than a silver light instead of pollution. Make international connections that will profit. Stop waiting on reparations, I'm being honest. Freedom is the wealth to help establish growth. Buying a home is a great investment to own. Spread that philosophy to selling incontinence. Living that best life, Prague next consignment. Portfolios, passports, max and mix. Final pieces to the puzzle, gains excellence. Bricks make buildings, buildings make cities. Live much more, explore with the ability. Freedom is acquired with the dollars and cents. A trait you commit, building with bricks. Bricks make buildings, buildings make cities. Live much more, explore with the ability. Freedom is acquired with the dollars and cents. A trait to commit, building with bricks. Bricks make buildings, buildings make cities. Live much more, live much more.
Any advice for a lot of athletes now coming out who get paid, say, big endorsements? They seem broke in a couple of years.
Yeah, well, because here's the problem. You know, once you retire, you don't have that source of income that's coming in, right? So even if you save over a 15-year career, if your spending habits remain the same, eventually that well's going to run dry, right? So unfortunately for us athletes, retirement age is 32, 34 if you're lucky, 37 like myself. What comes next? Right, so the question needs to be, what comes next? What can I do? What is my passion? Not where I can create the most value or generate the most revenue, but what is my next passion? When you find that next passion, then everything else will make sense.
Bars on Windy City Radio.
I actually like that tape.
just a little bit longer. I have a tendency to be spoiled, but that's only because I adore you. Yeah. Oh, you give me all the feels. Just one touch, I melt to pieces. Oh, you give me all the feels. Everything that I've been missing. Oh, you give me all the feels. Just one touch, I melt to pieces. Oh, you give me all the feels. Everything that I've been missing. Hey. Give me all you give me all the feel, yeah. Oh, you give me all you give me all the feel, yeah.
If somebody tell you he hot, man, you know everybody hot now, Slim. He fish grease.
That's how we feel about this track right here. This is the Fish Grease Pick of the Week, only on Bars, on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. It's your boy Mentor the God, you know what I'm saying? You know them commercials, man, they be like, yeah, that could be us, but yeah, that could be you, but well, it's like one of them joints, cause you know, it is what it is, so rock with me. That could be us, but your ass is tripping. Your ambition is to have another kid, while mine's to have a crib on the lake with fresh fish, just so I can hit the kitchen and chef up some dish. Studio in a garage, I fit about 4 cars separated by a yard with about 5 parked out front. Some change to get you anything you want, because our bank account swole, investigated every month. Cause your man won't settle, they can look but don't touch. Every dollar dry clean without the laundering and such. I'm tired of chasing these dreams, so reality's a must. Wake up and go get it without the use of a crush. Cause I stand on my own too, 10 toes down, balls dragging like I'm Goku, breaking down the Dutch. Fill it with that piccolo, light it the puff. Give me a light, pass to mine with inroads. You know how that merry go.
You could be the woman.
Yeah, that could be us.
That a wise man searches for.
Yeah, that could be us. I'm saying, ma, that could be us.
Of whom I can
You don't hear me, yo. Hey yo, I give a shotgun to my girl and tell her that we out to conquer the world. I'm allergic to shellfish, but feed her lobster and pearls. And you ain't gotta do nada. Work if you wanna. Puff marijuana, get this new Carl a twirl. Just help me with the kids and we can take a couple trips. I take you around the world and show you exotic vistas. They call me international arguments. The ish overseas, stick with me and make sure you take some pictures. Majestic locations, walking through the crowd hand in hand. Everybody standing, giving ovation. And that's what I mean when I see us on the scene. It's way more than green. I'm laying the foundation for us to build on and pass to the kids. So I ain't trying to be mean when I say no vacations. Not until we close on this house, just stay patient. What they say, good things come to those who wait. Yeesh.
You could be the woman.
Yeah, that could be us.
That a wise man searches for.
Yeah, that could be us.
I know you're
Yo, I'm saying my, that could be us.
of whom I can be sure.
But you don't hear me though.
More topics, more segments, more music means more bars after this.
When DC Radio brings to you the app. Yes, the app is now available on your Google Play and your App Store, on your iPhone or your Android, any of your pads that you might be using, be it if it's an iPad Mini, or if you have a Samsung Note, doesn't matter what you have, any mobile device, you can get the app so you can listen where you're at to Win DC Radio.
I don't really need a D, I need the all I bad need is a KC.
Hey, this is China Pink from the 2018 award-winning Best Radio Talk Show of the Year. Make sure you tune into the Ladies of the China Think Talk Show each and every Sunday on Win DC Radio from 5 to 7. Make sure you check us out on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to hear our amazing show. We are also available for hosting events or parties. Please contact the China Think Show at AOL.com for booking information. I'll catch you next Sunday at 5.
Hi, I'm Lisa Dove Washington. And I'm Andrea Riley. And we are your hosts for Girls Gabbing Radio Show. Tune in to Girls Gabbing Radio Show every Sunday from 7 to 8 p.m. on Win DC, powered by Go Win Media. Girls Gabbing wants to provide a platform for dreams, visions, and stories to thrive and grow. What's the gab? Tune in on Sundays to find out.
Man, look, y'all already know what time it is. It's your boy, Gerard Street Garvey, and my DJ, Kid Cannon. And when we together, you know what it is. Grind Season Radio, each and every Wednesday from 8 to 10 on Win DC Radio. Don't forget it. Yeah.
Ready for some more hump day motivation? It's time for hour number 2 of the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback and Ramsey Brown. Only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yes, indeed. Hour number 2. Bars. AJ Throwback in the building.
Ramsey Brown, definitely here.
Yes. Appreciate everybody who is tuned in on Facebook Live. I see my man Country, my brother, best friend right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that's my guy right there. That's my guy. Shout out to you, brother, for watching live for a change. Like, he usually catch the replays, so this is like an event for me.
Hey, absolutely.
Yes, sir. My main man, Narcissist, checking in North Carolina, both North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina. See, we got people all over, man.
Hey, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to get some people from more people from overseas.
Yes, indeed. We need that. We definitely need that overseas love. You know what I'm saying? Making sure we also show love to everybody who is watching on YouTube. Like, man, let me tell you, the people supporting Fam Hides are in the building. Absolutely. Man, appreciate all of the love y'all are showing on Facebook Live. Y'all keep our Facebook Live lit today. Appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me reset. I just need to reset something real quick, just to see what we looking like. Okay, same what I thought. Okay, all right. Now we can continue our conversation.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh, that's late.
That's it.
Appreciate love for all who's already on there.
Yes, indeed. So
Fam High.
Yeah, you know, so yeah, you see, my man Country said, I be working, I'm off trying to catch this vibe. Appreciate you catching the vibe today, good brother, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, want to continue in our conversation of, you know, celebrating the life, Kobe Bryant. And this is kind of how I always like to look at things in a certain perspective. When you learn lessons from certain things. You know, I always believe in what is the lesson for me, you know, being still here in the physical, at least, you know, what should I learn from his life? And so I came up with a top 5 takeaways from his legacy. And I'm sure you can feel free to chime in, whatever. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a top 5, so to say, but just things, because I know you were saying before, like, you focus more on the man himself, and that's the way I try to look at things too. As much as I actually was a huge basketball fan in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I was too back then. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Not as much now, but like if I had a 1 and 2, I would probably say basketball has now eclipsed football for me, or taken back over, because for the longest time it was basketball then football, but for probably like darn near 2 decades it was football then basketball. But like, we came up in the era, one of the greatest eras for basketball. Oh my goodness.
Came up in the change. It went from, my views are expressed. My views.
Disclaimer.
Yes. But we switched over from the predominantly non-black and we fused the ABA and NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So then we had new rules, and then the doors were open for all.
Right.
So that everybody got put on Front Street.
Right.
So all the greats that were great could now be great.
Right. Exactly.
It was more hiding in the shadows. So many players, and evolved the game in such a short span of time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that era was like, what year was it exactly? Did the NBA?
I want to say, what was that? 70, or maybe, was it? Man, it might have been a little bit before 70 or 71. But I feel like for whatever reason, it was around like 70, 71. Because it was crazy. It was around the same time as the AFL NFL merger in football. But that actually is an interesting thing. That hey, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of having the laptop and all that good stuff. What was that? American? I don't want to get too far, but I'm just curious. Basketball. Okay, so that ain't the same, man. ABA. Okay, so actually, no, it was 1976.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. It's later than the early.
Yeah. That's right.
Leaning in, because Dr. J.
That's right, because I forget the Nets. They were like playing well into like when they were those Nets. You know what I'm saying? That was well into the mid 70s. That's right. Yeah, and I've watched documentaries about that before. Years are just escaping me right now.
No, it happens.
Yeah,
but that's, like I said, my views are my views. It was the side. We were considered the sideshow.
Right, exactly. So
that's what I'm saying. That's why once it merged and it started actually clicking and moving on, then it started becoming, oh wow, this is what took us so long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. More crowds start coming. It's just the whole integration thing.
Right.
But again, that's not what we're here to talk about.
But that could be another conversation for another day that I would love to have. I ain't
trolling with friends. Shout out to Night Train 357.
Yes, indeed. And Out of Profit and Bree. You know what I'm saying? Shout out the whole crew. You know what I'm saying?
Still waiting.
Yeah. in time.
Waiting.
Everything in time. You know what I'm saying? Or as RNL would say, everything has its place. You know what I'm saying? We will have our place eventually.
That means, like I said, it's we are one, and I love that. So I don't want anyone to think otherwise, but the truth is still the truth.
Yes,
at the end of the day.
Yes, indeed. Exactly. It's still the truth. You can't deny it.
That's my standpoint. And again, my views are not a radio station. So please do not associate that.
Oh,
Talk
man.
to me directly.
At me.
Yeah, at me.
All right, so these are the 5 things that I thought about. So for me, number 5, work hard with a purpose. I don't think anybody in the history of the NBA worked harder than Kobe Bryant. It would be very I mean, you talking about very few. Like the only other person that I could say you could argue that I can think of, like in my brain right now, is Michael Jordan. Because but Kobe had that same competitive spirit that Jordan had. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like Jordan 1, Jordan 2, but Kobe didn't want to be looked at as the next Jordan. He wanted to be the first Kobe. But the bottom line is part of that work ethic was driven to being better than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know,
you don't have any arguments with me on that one.
Yeah, but that's recognizing that he was the standard, and in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And even if you don't beat them necessarily playing them on the court or in a championship, you beat whatever standard they've already set, which Kobe did a lot of. You know what I'm saying? So, but beyond that, I feel like it was infectious. His work ethic was infectious. The people who really wanted it, wanted it. You know what I'm saying? The people who didn't, even they had to step up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you talking like this is a dude who played on the same team as Shaq. And I'll get to that a little bit later, related to a comment from one of our Team Boss members. But yeah, like, I mean, it was one of those things where if you're around this guy, you got to give your best, or there's no point in you being on the team. See Dwight Howard. See how short that lived that was. You know what I'm saying? Oh. But
Trolling for friends.
Cause man,
I just like spaces where it's like I said, I check out a lot on the low. I be ghosting. Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times I like the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not saying there's no freedom here. It's just that it's not the platform.
And time constraints.
Right.
Yeah.
Time constraint is
that's the biggest thing. Because I mean, if we could talk longer than 2 hours about something like this, oh man, listen, I'd be in hog heaven.
Absolutely.
Man, let me tell you, because trust me, I see the wheels turning, brother. I see the wheels turning.
Don't stick a microphone in front of me like that. Shoot. You have a hard time panning like this.
Right there. Oh man, but you know, the work ethic, but also consistency. This man was like soup. It didn't matter. This guy played through whatever. Went to a free throw line and shot 2 free throws with a freaking torn Achilles. Who does that? Who does that? Dedication. Working hard, dedication, being a student of the game, like studying your craft.
That's why I said, you can hate all you want, but one thing I respect it is definitely number one to be on the list.
Exactly. So that's number 5. Number 4. Using your gift, the thing that is your platform, using that to bless the world, bless others. A lot of times we're less fortunate than you. So as many people know, him and his wife, they have the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Family Foundation, and they serve the community by partnering with different organizations like My Friend's Place. They're targeted toward assisting LA's homeless youth population. Step Up on Second. They're targeted toward creating permanent supportive housing for LA's homeless population. The United Way of Greater Los Angeles, and also Mamba FC, which was an Orange County youth soccer league which groomed young athletes to become leaders and independent thinkers. That part got me.
Yes.
Independent thinkers. Because that's the thing that people don't really understand about Kobe a lot of times. If you listen to some of the things that he said, you listen to his interviews, the way he answers questions, he doesn't answer them in the standard way that your average athlete is going to answer them.
That's why I said respect.
Exactly. That's what separated him from the pack, his mindset. And he passed that mindset on to the people he helped. And now that is absolutely paramount to whatever platform that you have. And then on top of that, a lot of people I didn't know this, but the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Family Foundation also gave at least $1 million toward the building of the National Museum of African American History and Culture. When I saw that, right. like leaving your legacy all over the place, and not just because you just want to, you know, say, oh, I gave money, but because you believe. I know Kobe believed in what that represented and what that would represent for African American culture, black culture in this country. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. You have all this money, you have all this fame. What do you do with it? You bless others. You bless the world.
Hey,
you know.
Pass it forward.
That's right. That's right.
That's the key. Because you will not stay here as no disrespect as you see. We're not here forever.
Right.
So, but your legacy and your ideas and what you plant is what it will continue.
Exactly. That's right.
Important.
That's right. Speaking of planting, my number 3 thing: give people their roses, while they're still here to receive them. You know. Ironically and eerily, his last tweet was giving somebody their roses while he was still here to give it to him, and that was his final tweet, uplifting.
You know, I'm sorry, I love this. Shout out to AJ Throwback for the instrumental in the background.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I'm still waiting for this challenge, people to participate.
Yes. In time.
You gotta comp that instrumental out.
Yes, indeed. I kind of miss Southeast 2 on Bandcamp, but you know, I digress. So Kobe's final tweet to LeBron James, and now part of the Laker fold. Of course, a legend in his own right. As he passed him on the all-time scoring leader list and went to 3rd, Kobe said, "Continuing to move the game forward at King James. Much respect, my brother. Hashtag 33,644." You know, like that was the type of class act this dude was, but he made sure to let LeBron know. And him and LeBron had a special relationship because Kobe actually came to one of LeBron's camps when when LeBron was still like a high schooler or middle school or whatever. And one of the things that stuck, going back to number 5, in order to be the best, you got to work hard. Like, you can't just be talented. You can't just be skilled. You got to put in the work.
Put the work in.
You know what I'm saying? But he believed in, like, giving people they love. You know what I'm saying? And that was big. And for that to be his final tweet, I mean, that's such a part of his legacy right there. Such a part of his legacy, you know. And then on top of that, I feel like just overall, we revere so many people in death, but we gotta revere them in life. We gotta do it in life. You know what I'm saying? Like you going to the whole Nipsey Hussle situation last year. A lot of people didn't get hip to him until after he passed away. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not knocking people for not knowing about him. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, I know for me, because I was getting hip to him in the years like prior to his death. That's why it hit me so hard, because I became not just a fan of him as an artist, but him as a person, him as somebody moving the culture forward. You know, much like Kobe, moving the culture forward. You know, so that's one of the biggest lessons. It's like, you know, give people love while they're here. You know, in fact, I kind of thought about something that somebody said on Twitter, and I understand where people come from when it comes to that, but the girl pretty much said more or less like, oh yeah, and by the way, this whole Kobe situation, it's not gonna make me squash any beefs with somebody that, you know, wronged me or whatever. It's still F you, you know. And it's like, it's interesting, and I don't knock people who feel that way. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Right. I know for me, that's not what I got from the past. It's it's like, look, if I have whatever static I have with you, or whatever I might feel internally, I need to resolve that internally. You know what I'm saying? And I need, you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily have to go to the person. Right.
You gotta do it for yourself.
But I have to do it for myself, because that's what it's about at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And that honestly leads me to the second thing. Tomorrow's not promised. And the thing is, it's like there's been a lot of passings going on, whether you're talking about on a major level. You know, of course, like the passing of Morgan Wooten. You know, that hit a lot of people hard. You know, like this, you talking about the first dude who was in the Basketball Hall of Fame. First dude inducted to the Basketball Hall of Fame, Morgan Wooten. And then Jim Lehrer, who was a news icon, you know, with the McNeil Lehrer Hour and what he did for the PBS News Hour. Like, this is somebody that I came up watching as a kid. You know, like, he might have been a huge amount of reason why I was interested in journalism. You know, Jim Lehrer. But also, like, people that, you know, I know, Malik, you know, with his favorite uncle. Other people, I've seen some other people talk about deaths. One of my friends on Instagram, Deandra, her mother, losing her. Oh wow, wow.
They had a second funeral this week. They had the first one for the family here. Went to North Carolina, had a second funeral for the family in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's around.
Yeah, it is. So it's like, first and foremost, our condolences go out to everybody who's been losing people right now. This has been a very tough start to this year.
Yes.
To this decade. Right. Very tough. You know, like earthquakes, fires, possible tsunamis on the horizon. You know, with Jamaica and Cuba. That whole situation. It's a lot of disaster around us. And that's why it's so important for us to... But before I get to that sentiment, I'm going to say exactly why. This is the moment when I want to say why this hit me harder than any of the other deaths or passings that have happened in my lifetime. It literally happened about 20 hours after I was involved in a car accident. I'm not gonna lie. You know how people always say, you know, your life flashes before your eyes. This guy driving on 295, I'm thinking he's cutting me off near the Pepsi-Cola plant in Chevrolet. I'm thinking he's cutting me off. He's hydroplaning. Mind you, like, it's just starting to rain, ground just starting to get wet. He's hydroplaning out of control, hits the wall. Another car hits him. I have to slam on brakes to avoid hitting the both of them. Then somebody hits me from behind. And so that explains why I'm driving a rental right now. But in that moment, it could have gone either way if I didn't react. And if God wasn't with me at that time. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, now granted, I had a better chance of surviving my accident. None of the people on that helicopter had a chance of surviving that accident. None of them. You know what I'm saying? And all I can think, and a lot of people have been saying the same sentiment, how do you console somebody in that moment?
I know freak out. I mean, it's not a death warning show, so
right.
I'm trying to make it a death warning show, but I lost a family. I call on my family freak accident from a low-flying buzzard.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Wow. A low-flying buzzard?
Yes. He was riding his motorcycle and a low-flying buzzard.
Oh, yeah.
Flew into his tire.
Yeah.
And made his bike go out of control.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Rest in peace, David Norris.
Whew. I can't even imagine, you know, but that whole situation, it shook me up, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of recovering from the trauma of that situation, because I had never, as a driver, I had never been involved in an accident like that. And you know, I had been in a car accident before as a passenger, but it's different when you're the driver. Oh, yeah. I just thank God that my wife and my son weren't in the car with me, but it made me look at life a lot differently after that whole situation. You know, it's like, you can't waste time. It kind of reminds me of what Priest always says. Worst thing you could do to the universe is waste time.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it right there. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So, you here, put in the work, give of yourself, and give people their roses while they're here, man. Because you still here. Exactly. So they can smell them and appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? But number one, family over everything.
FOE.
FOE. Family over everything. Like I said, This man worked through his marriage with Vanessa after everything that happened with, the rape case. And she was on the verge of leaving him. They worked things out and they stayed together. A lot that has broken a lot of relationships.
Stuff smaller than that has broken relationships.
Right. Smaller incidents than that have broken relationships, and they managed to stay together. And I'm not saying that to say, oh, if your spouse cheats on you, stay with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what I am saying is that he was very public in his dealing with it. In fact, I want to read a comment from one of our Team Bars members. So Brooke Young, she said when he took public responsibility for she put rape in quotation marks, allegations, and saved his brand. His love and dedication helped him face public embarrassment with class. And that's what it's about. He cared enough about his wife, even though, he did what he did. He cared enough about his wife. He cared enough about his family to say, you know what? Let me be a man about this. And a lot and stuff that he ended up saying later, he was a man about it, to be quite honest, But his love for his daughters, like I said earlier, I know people personally. In fact, I guess you can call him my uncle-in-law, BJ. He was saying how for him, that was a huge amount of the reason why he looked at family and raising his sons, because he's got all sons, the way he raised his kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just sold into them, poured into them, and it was because of Kobe's example. You know what I'm saying? And especially in an era where a lot of times, or in a society where a lot of times we're not always given our credit.
Of course.
Those of us who are actually there and doing the work, we're overshadowed by the people who are not there and not doing the work. And so Kobe was the antithesis of what mainstream society will try to put out there about black fathers. You know what I'm saying? And he was a proud father. I mean, dedicated to the point, look, I'm not going to be late to stuff for my kids. I'm going to get in a helicopter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's dedication. People can say whatever they want about him flying in helicopters. That was more about his family.
Yeah.
That was more about his family. He loved and cared about his family. So for me, those are the lessons that I take away from his passing. So I don't know if you have anything you want to chime in.
It's I'm just gonna say I second that. Because all those are the very pointed points. So
yes,
there's no point in trying to reiterate. Like I say, a wrong word would say perfection, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes, you get exactly what you're saying. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this countdown, and like I said, we're gonna get into some of your comments as well. People who commented on Facebook, some people commented on Twitter as well. So we'll get to those comments momentarily. Definitely shout out once again my main man Narcissist. He says your show has the vibe that makes you just want to tune in, and he also said I got to get on some of those beats and join the challenge. Once I get home with my junior, I'm going to attack it. So looking forward to that, Narcissist, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I see my main man Priest the Nomad checked in, and that's great.
Yes,
that's great. Appreciate you for tuning in. And we just quoted you. That's crazy. We just quoted you. See, it's like, just gotta love how it all works. How the energy works like that. You know what I mean? And also Night Train 357 on the check-in on YouTube. So appreciate you for tuning in on YouTube. I'm telling you, the YouTube.
I'm gonna keep saying it.
He said you will definitely be on the show. I need to get one more mic. He said we're working on it, homie. So yeah, it's in the works. It's in the works. We definitely looking forward to that. So without further ado, the moment that many of you all have been waiting for. Yes. Chomping at the bit. All right, we ain't wasting no time. Let's get to it.
skill is to kill something. Gotta break it down to build something. Hidden in plain sight like I'm deer hunting. Caught them in the crosshairs, they won't hear it coming. Add another body to the scoreboard. I've been on their head since the coin toss. They like, you still rapping, what's the point, dog? I never stop, I'm sorry to disappoint y'all. Whole lot of experience in my voice box. Ripping rappers like packets of soy sauce. How I rose up was biblical. So every verse really annoyed y'all. Every day another go get a ritual. Still going on, they gon' wanna get at you. What I spit is written from a different view. I came for that quick change like Jiffy Lube.
We're talking bars forever. Yeah. We're shooting for the stars forever. What? We need it now more than ever. Right. I got bars. Right. Right. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Hey. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Hey. Forever and ever and ever and ever. What? Forever and ever and ever and ever. Hey.
Only got 16, so no filler. Call the power of great score, spirit of J Dilla. Wrong, the phrase rower, delivery flamethrower. Got a motor that will rival the one in the Range Rover. He's a beast, I prefer. Wrong, the rapping ogre. Who are you? You can't tell by my odor. I'm the shh. Rhymes with it, rhymes legit. I cough on every track. I'm so sick, mind so quick, fully loaded. Rhymes and clicks. I step back, cause my lines will hit your brain, your body, brain, your main. I mean, I'm saying I'm planes, I ain't playing, dog. I'm so lit. I got bars forever, forever, ever, forever clever. More better putting letters together. For every measure I breathe on, a legend on these songs. I scare from 1 to 10, I'm 11 on Steve's songs.
Hey. We're talking bars forever. Yeah. We're shooting for the stars forever. What? We need it now more than ever. Right. I got bars. Right. Right. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Hey. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Hey. Forever and ever and ever and ever. What? Forever and ever and ever and ever. Let the gloves off. Let go the power restraint. Microphones and breaststrokes. You see the picture I paint. I ain't taking it like I'm a heavyweight. Drinking protein shakes and eating T-bone steak. Savagely murdered Milton Bradley and the Parker brothers in my insane attempt to kill in the game. Simple way to illustrate that I ain't playing. Plain and simple saying you shall not pass it about walk like I'm Gandalf the Great. Or pretty much any other bit of sage. Hot stamina, you're telling lies like George Costanza working for Vandalay. Turn up the volume in your Hyundai Santa Fe so you can clearly hear every single word I have to say. I'm far beyond bars for days, far forever altogether. A visual on my mind is like a Frank Gehry architecture. I go to great lengths to make my lyrics hard to measure. And if you're not feeling me, you need to feel the pressure. Congregate with demigods, divinity continuously wait on its side until infinity roars until my end game, which marks my transition into phase 4. What make moves when you can make more? So what you wanna hate for? All I got is love and peace. Energy is loving me. Whether you're hating me or loving me, I love making music. Grab a brew and call the crew. Say some witty, don't wax and I don't mumble when I do it. I got bars.
Number 4.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what else to say, dude. Like, you can't keep doing the same thing, expect different results. Try something different, man. Listen, for the love of the breakbeat and the struggle that made me dedicated, even when it go bad like great meat, even when ghetto started, even when they decided the black man is a better target, blow our brains in HD. Misguided youngins, souls always searching for something. Streets lie, keep their brains fried like an 8-piece. With all of that said, you think I'm a fool? Well, take these nuts for president, priests up in this element of speech. Come on, over the beats, come on. Now that every line is a purpose for the streets, it's on. I be the lead flow, the way we go, brother, that's how the seeds go. For our women to believe the creed, we can't be messing up D-game like P-Rose. You catch a bleed nose, we too black for them folks. When that beat started, priest started off catching a ghost. Now it's popping like ghettos on darker nights. Men stand up, fake is back up like carbonite. Online, on my grind like Jamaican chicks, crushing hips to bacon bits. And we the main event. These youngins started off tripping, now they making amends just by the pain of the pen. Hardy hardbammers, brutality is on camera. Don't be surprised when these thugs clean with the arm and hammer. Star banner, spangled with the souls of black folk like W.E.B. the trouble youth. Please come on, you gotta breathe, come on. You know that everything we do is for the seas, come on. And it's song, brother, we sing it proud and we don't stutter. Whole system been screwing us with their own rubbers while you doing the nay-nay. 25 and still read like you up in the 8th grade. They be pulling the AK in every hood in every city. So what you gon' do? Either be a man or keep acting like they own you. Please, come on, man. You gotta try something different, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to say, for real. But I know who do. Joey, love him or hate him. Some may want to deflate him, but he keep his head to the sky and it won't drop. I ain't finished blowing up spots, but I won't pop. And I ain't buying what they are selling, I won't shop. Don't stop, but you know I got to get it. Won't flop, no I will not. I ain't with it, man, forget it. I've been in it for a minute, not in it for digits. I'm in it to win it, like minute to win it. The flow is infinite, they thought it was finished. I bring healing to the ones who are sick of the gimmicks. Sick of the tricks, sick of the smoke and the mirrors. I'm sick with the lyrics, one of the illest you'll hear of in your lifetime. I write rhymes to be released at the right time, like fine wine served at a feast. And some big belly man was strikingly handsome. Don't worry about the rhyme scheme, y'all is there, even if it seems random. I look to the Lord with my hands up and speak life on the tracks that I attack. And what? Who wanna ask questions now? I'm a living life lesson, you can test them how. Them curses all blessings now. I'm above, not below. The head, not the tail. The strong, not the frail. I leave a trail of love when I flow. Oh, and this here, grown man B.I. See, I'm an MC till I die. I guess it's in the jeans like Levi's. Alto, Mira, Escucha. Stop, look, listen, pay attention. Two brothers as we swerve on the rhythm and spit nothing but words of wisdom and insight to unblur your vision. It's priest and nomad. Big Joey blessed. Stay fresh, man, you know that. Manhood, you should try it. Grown man business, you should try it. Loving your brothers and the others and your mothers, you should try it. Put heads on your chest, baby. While you out here trying to glow up, man, you need to grow up. Tell them nothing, man. They gonna learn today. I think that's it, man.
Number 3.
I learned a long time ago that love is in danger from people who only live on lies. I can see in the future that I have to change me. There's so many things I've now realized. Sometimes it's not fair, but it still remains in the air. Pieces of a heart has been broken. But here I am now, no longer a victim of the game that came from words unspoken. Just know love is a game, you gotta know how to play. Love is a game, you gotta know how to play. Until I can see what real love is to me, I will never put myself on hold again. Although my heart skips a beat from the beauty of love, I must control the game so I can win. Sometimes it's not fair, but it still remains in the air. Pieces of a heart has been broken. But open yourself up to what love can bring you. If it's made to work, it won't break a bend. Just know love is a game, it can change who you are. Love is a game, it can change who you are. When the tables are turned, all the lessons you learn become a part of who you're sure to become. No, never let them mistake you. Know the words will not break through, 'cause your heart's turned to stone. Just know love is a game, gotta know how to play. Love is a game, gotta know how to play. Just know love is a game, it can change who you are. Love is a game, it can change who you are.
Number 2.
Trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, we trap rich. Trash bag full of money, what a bag.
Trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, we trap rich. Trash bag full of money, what a half. I only fuck with go-getters who really chasing that bag. You seen in my league, your baby daddy's a bum, and I can rap a hook and get it going underlay. So I ain't taking no shorts. So have that money today. I drop a bag on your head and get you going like today. So ain't no faking with me. They know Miss Dazzle don't play. I rock expensive designers. You can't sit with me. I'm a dog like Gucci. These can't be for free. Sipping some rock on the beach. Bloody red shoes on my feet. Peeling off in something fast with an F and N on the seat. I got money for days. 150s and 20s. I'm the real Miss Key. My name rebels in the streets.
Trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, we trap rich. Trash bag full of money, what a bag.
Trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, we trap rich. Trash bag full of money, what a half of
money bustin' out my jeans like a damn. Move a brick, move a bill. I can move a mountain, quarterback a whole team, run the place like Michael Vick. Trash bag full of money, I'm like what the rock? Selling zippos out of Honda like I run a chicken spot. Try to run off with my money, red dot like chicken pop. Get them people on the line, tell them come and pick them up. Summertime street blazing, check the concrete. Put that fake in the flex and you can get just for looking. Man, you ain't seeing me, I put that on everything. Kendra my Larry Bird with the 30, y'all take your whole trap. Like that up like Christmas, I'm gone. Trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, we trap rich. Trash bag full of money, what a bag.
Trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, trash bag full of money, we trap rich. Trash bag full of money, what a half a fool.
Number 1.
Something's wrong, my people. Listen up. They want us all to fall in line and march to the same drum. They blind us with fake facts to ensure that we stay dumb. Feed us antibiotics and poison, we lay numb. Keep us on the run cause they know that it ain't fun. When the rabbits got the gun, we might snap and strike back. Will you man up and stand up when it's time to fight back? Maybe you're happy with the status quo, but I've had it, yo, so I speak about it with a savage flow. Bigotry and misogyny are electable. A burning cross and a white hood, acceptable. They relegate you to minimum wage, then turn around and punish you for all your venom and rage. Blame the poor folks for wrecking the nation, ignore the degradation. Buy the land and flip it, that's gentrification. They swim in wealth while we're drowning in debt. They're exploiting the power that we all allow them to get. Something's wrong in the world today. Come on and take a walk with me. Something's wrong in the world today. I wish somebody would sit and talk with me. Something's wrong in the world today. Come on and take a walk with me. Something's wrong in the world today. I don't know what it is. Addiction, they call it a disease, but then they want to lock you up and toss away the keys. They all got mansions on a hilltop, sell you medicine and then incarcerate you when you pill pop. That's why they call it capitalism, because they all capitalize when you're shackled in prison. Rehabilitation isn't part of the plan, they're just trying to break you down till you're hardly a man. So many prisons privately owned, they just trying to make a buck, you're just trying to get home. They love it when you put yourself in these predicaments, they use it as fuel to fire up their constituents. So now you're trapped in a vortex, and every time you catch a case, they're gathering more checks. The whole system needs an intervention. I bet they could learn a lot from a sinner's wisdom. Something's wrong in the world today. Come on and take a walk with me. Something's wrong in the world today. I wish somebody would sit and talk with me. Something's wrong in the world today. Come on and take a walk with me. Something's wrong in the world today. I don't know what it is. Little Billy is only 12, just an innocent kid. Far from a troublemaker, not a menacing kid. His mama's doing her best, but it's hard to survive when you're raising a young man crying after his father has died. His papa went off to war, the enemy shot him dead. Now all he can think about are the words that his father said. But soon the repetition turns to anger. Friends turn into enemies and neighbors turn into strangers. Everybody's the same, but he's starting to see him different. He thinks they're inferior, so he's starting to treat them different. And now Billy is becoming a man. He's angry, running around with a gun in his hand. He wants revenge and nobody can stop him. Puerto Rican bodega owner, he ran up on him and popped him. Something has got to change, something has got to give. I mean, are we living to die or are we dying to live? Something's wrong in the world today. Come on and take a walk with me. Something's wrong in the world today. I wish somebody would sit and talk with me. Something's wrong in the world today. Come on and take a walk with me. Something's wrong in the world today. I don't know what it is.
It's time to get back to AJ Throwback, Ramsey Brown, and Bars. Only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app. Powered by GoWin.media.
Yes, yes, yes. That was our 5 alarm blaze countdown for the new year, new decade. First one. Let's go from 5 to 1. We had Night Train 357 featuring Joe Young, The Giant, and Rome with Boss Forever, of course, produced by ADST Music. Man, that might be like, if it's not my favorite ADST beat, it's like neck and neck with whatever is. But I think that might be my favorite one he's done. Man, oh my God. But everybody brought it on that song right there. I love that song right there. Coming in to number 4, Priest and Nomad featuring Joe E. Bless with Try It, produced by John Lane. Man, now that's, we were talking off air. If I had a 1A, 1B, Try It would be 1A, Food would be 1B off that Manhood project. If y'all don't have that album yet, go get it. ASAP. Man, yeah, so shout out to Priest and Nomad. At number 3, we had Ramsey Haynes with Love is a Game. Shout out to Ramsey and the whole Haynes family. Of course, you know, Christine, she hashtag momager.
Yes. And I'm definitely following.
Yes, definitely looking forward to her podcast coming out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We will definitely be plugging y'all in once she's up and running with her podcast. At number 2, we had X, aka Artist Span, featuring Miss Razzle Dazzle, Trash Bag Full of Money. Yes, yes. They for a minute they were neck and neck with our number 1, but Trouble, Fam Highs was pulled away. Number 1 with Something's Wrong. Our brand new Arsonist of the Month and the first of the new year and the new decade. So, congratulations. Trouble, T-Rubble, Fam Highs, the whole Fam Highs family, everybody, man, blowing up the YouTube live. Love it, because we be needing that YouTube live love. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate all that support and all the push. Of course, DJ Van Ski, appreciate you for supplying us with that. And once again, congratulations to everybody who made it. And shout out to everybody who qualified that didn't quite make the cut. New Choice, Jay the Lioness, Kevin Lee, Allison Belanc, and of course, Prowess the Testament for just qualifying for the countdown. So make sure I get all the shots. We always gotta, make sure we shout out everybody. Let's get to some of these comments that people got, man. We got some good memories. So I put it up on both Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. We didn't get a lot of Instagram responses. I had somebody just say hi. It's like, that's not responding to the doggone. Follow instructions. Reading is fundamental. I'm just gonna leave that there. So let's get to some of these comments that people had. So A-Law_music. Shout out A-Law. He'll be actually coming on, I want to say February 12th. But on Twitter, he said, so many memories, but I remember when I was 10, my mom got me an autographed b-ball that was purple and gold with Kobe's signature. I saw his greatness from the start. My man Neil Team T Tate says, I can honestly say that I was not the biggest Kobe fan. I was Michael Jordan all the way. But then I started watching him play, and I was like, damn, this dude is off the chain. He is probably the only player that will ever come close to the type of player MJ was. Not just play, but the mentality. That's why I would pick him over LB anytime. Respect. Respect. Bill Lay, he says the intellectual being he was on and off the courts. My main man, Ransom Relic, he says when he ruptured his Achilles and it limped on the court to shoot free throws. Man, like, who does that? Like I said earlier, who does that? Only Kobe. Chris Ray, who I know, huge Lakers fan, says seeing him play live for the USA team when they had an exhibition game here with Obama there. My man Adolfo Loer, I don't even know how to pronounce his last. I feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Adolfo, he mentioned the ESPN commercial where Kobe trolled Jalen Rose about his 81-point performance, which was hilarious. So if you haven't seen that, hit up YouTube and search that, man. That was hilarious. Shao Calhoun, he highlighted Kobe's dagger in Grant Hill's face. Now, Grant Hill was defending him very well. This is what I was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? And this was in the 2010 Western Conference Finals to beat the Suns 4-2 in the series and take them to the NBA Finals in a rematch with the Celtics after the Celtics beat them. I think it was 4-2 in 2008. Yeah, but that I remember watching that game. That was a dagger right there. But that was Kobe. I mean, man walked around with ice water in his veins all the time. He wanted the ball when it was on. It was on. Carlton Smart Jr., he said actually his interactions with his kids, going back to what we talked about throughout the show. Kevin Bryant, aka Kev, still trying to work out a Balls on the Road interview with you, brother. So we working on that. I got to talk to some folks. He was saying the Shaq and Kobe interview where, and this goes back to something else we talked about earlier with work ethic. Pretty much Shaq would just show up, whereas Kobe was doing all the work, and like Kobe, like, and that used to piss me off because it's like, he felt like, how much work did I have to do for dunks? And whereas Kobe, it was like, no, all the time in the gym, up early, let's get it, But still, that work ethic and that drive was infectious, because you heard Shaq in that interview talk about how he only, after the first championship, he was good. He didn't have to win no more. But Kobe wanted more, But that shows you the difference in the mentality. Brooke Young, she made a comment. She made the comment earlier about the, how he took responsibility for the rape allegations. But then she also said, and hearing him speak other languages during interviews, always cool. My main man, Charles Williams, he said, off court, the Adidas commercial where he blocks the kid who challenges him to a one-on-one because he didn't believe in cutting slack. On the court, when he gave his airness 55 points as a retirement gift. LOL. Which I'm sure you absolutely love, Charles, as a Knicks fan. I'm sure you absolutely love that. So yeah, good memories right there. This man, he did a lot of good in his life, and yeah, it's still hard to deal with, it's still hard to process, but at the same time, it's like, it kind of goes back to something Malk said. Death is the most natural part of life.
Yes, absolutely.
So
shout out to Malk.
Shout out to Malk. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Hopefully we be getting some cleans from him real soon. Yeah. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Of course, we always got to shout out the birthdays. You know what I'm saying? The Aquarius is out there. So shout out to my big sis Rochelle, Carmen, Vivian, Chris, who we shouted out earlier. My man Chris Ray celebrating birthdays on tomorrow, the 30th. My main man, another one of my brothers, another one of my best friends, Mike Jones, the real Mike Jones. My man Ray of the 512 Experience, Rob Gross, I heard Mike Jones. I just caught that. Don't make me start the number. 281-330-8004. But that ain't his numbers, so don't try to call him. And then my man Joe Grizzly, celebrating birthdays on Saturday the 1st. My girl D, Johnny Flames, Team Maranatha, they're actually having a album release party for their Baphomet Killers album coming out real soon. Dejon T, my main man Billy, all celebrating birthdays on the 2nd. My main man Showtime, Foreplay to Eargasm Show. Melanie Oates of Here for a Reason Inc. DC State Board of Education rep Marcus Batchelor, and also a former youth mayor like myself, Mayor Barrett's Youth Leadership Institute, all celebrating birthdays on the 3rd. And April Stanford, Brooklyn Concrete Management, my big bro Eric, Omerta GD, and Corinne, all celebrating birthdays on the 4th of February. So shout out to all of the Aquariuses out there. We will, of course, announce some more birthdays next week as they come along. I think we got a little bit of time. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. What we gonna do? Boss Community Calendar, we're gonna put it up on the IG page because we got 2 events we want to let y'all know about, but we'll definitely put that stuff up on our IG page because we are running a little low on time and I want to make sure we get in everything we possibly can. Yeah, let me set this up and bear with me, y'all, because this Bars for Life is special. I believe in, when we have moments like these, I believe in having words from the individuals. So, cue it up right here.
Words of wisdom to get you through the rest of your week. These are the bars for life.
All right, so, of course, Kobe. This being from actually his Jersey retirement speech. It was a very heartfelt speech, all in all, but this was the part that I really wanted to capture because this was specifically to his daughters, but I think anybody listening to this can get something out of it. So I'm just going to stop talking and let him have the last word. Or at least, well, some of the last words. But these are Kobe's words right here.
You guys know that if you do the work, you work hard enough, dreams come true. You know that, we all know that. But hopefully what you get from tonight is the understanding that those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And if you guys can understand that, then what you'll see happen is that you won't accomplish your dreams. Your dreams won't come true. Something greater will. And if you guys can understand that, then I'm doing my job as a father. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Mamba out.
Yeah, and I just thought that was a very appropriate way to close out this tribute to the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant, y'all. Like I said, I didn't want this to be a sad show. I wanted it to be a celebration. We wanted this to be a celebration. So hopefully we did just that, go through some great times. I mean, it's a hard time, but at the same time, it's hard to deal with these types of situations, but we, on this platform, we believe in celebrating people. We believe in positivity. We believe in motivation. And honestly, we just hope that a lot of his words give you all the motivation that you need to get through this, not only get through this tragedy, but get through the rest of your week, the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the rest of your life. So with that, make sure y'all continue to stay tuned to Win DC Radio. Later today, Boss Biz Radio from 6 to 8 p.m. Grind Season Radio from 8 to 10 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com, the Win DC Radio app, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. Of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media. And make sure y'all stay tuned next week. Our special guest, a takeover, Subliminal Thought, John Mel, Mr. City, Kenworth Katrina, scheduled to come in. So definitely looking forward to that show. And Kenworth Katrina actually got a new single that she's about to drop. So definitely looking forward to that. And we'll be talking to both of them about everything that they have going on as a duo and individually. And shout out to everybody who tuned in, everybody who contributed a comment, everybody who just showed love, shared it, participated. We appreciate all the love each and every single week. We love and appreciate each and every last one of you.
Absolutely.
We're giving you your roses.
Yes.
While you're here.
While you're here.
While you're here. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody for participating, for tuning in. We're going to close out. This is a very special closeout right here. Shout out to Agala, who I just happened to just reach out to on Instagram, courtesy of my man Ramsey Brown right here. Shared it in my inbox. Just reached out to him and he sent us this song, man. It's an incredible song. It's the best way to close out this episode. This is called For Kobe, For Gigi by Agala. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in, and we will see y'all next week. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. And we will see y'all right here next week, 11 o'clock, 1 p.m. Official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond. Bars. Peace, y'all.
Unmatched, the grind is legit. Working day in and day out, we all stay hip. I feel like I lost a brother that I grew up with. Ballin' at 17, Kobe blew up quick. Number 8 and 24, that's forever in the Raptors. Well respected as a champion in an orderly fashion. Basketball mortality, one ring less than Jordan. The world at the rim, history is still recording. More wet celebrations with the goggles back to back. Philly kid with Laker dreams, how real is that? He gave the NBA 20 seasons, you all know the drill. He made 2 free throws when he injured the Achilles. A man of principles, yeah, got him admitted. Breaking everything down to detail and go get it. Don't leave room for error. Just be amazing. Living for the greatness, we just molded and shaping. This for Kobe, for Kobe. This for Gigi, for Gigi. This for Kobe, for Kobe. This for Gigi, for Gigi. This for Kobe, for Kobe. This for Gigi, for Gigi. This for Kobe, for Kobe. This for Gigi, for Gigi. Yo, life is fragile, but we gotta stay devoted. Celebrate the legacy for as long as you know it. Fundamentals execute them at a high level and keep the hope alive until the dust settles. The love he had for the game, he brought joy to many. The city of LA, all these hearts is feeling empty. Poured out with emotions on the day of the Grammys. And my condolences goes out to all of the families. It feels like a nightmare we ain't waking up from. I'm soaking in the loss even though we scored 61. The drive to win like no other, what set them apart. Put your ego aside, let your skills do the talk. The world lost a hero, his fam lost a father. I can't imagine the pain, so I made this in his honor. My wish is like yours, that we all can live longer. Dedicated to Kobe Bryant and Gigi is this for Kobe, for Kobe. Word. This for Gigi, for Gigi. This for Kobe, for Kobe. This for Gigi, for Gigi. This for Kobe, for Kobe. This for Gigi, for Gigi. This for Kobe, for Kobe. This for Gigi, for Gigi. Yeah.
Bars.
That's it.
I did it. Mommy did it?
Yes.
Oh.
Say the bars.
You want to do bars?
Spurs.